The project Employment, Agriculture, Biodiesel, Transport and Climate Change is being led by GEA and GEA, in collaboration with independent professionals of the road transport sector, associated with CONAE, National Confederation of Autonomous and Micro-Enterprises. The aim of this project is to provide the long-distance road transport of goods, 250,000 tons of national biodiesel per year, replacing the polluting fossil diesel, being supported by the Biodiversity Foundation, Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Environment. The European Union Directive, known as the Directive 20-20-20, establishes that greenhouse gas emissions (GHGs) should be reduced by 20% in 2020. That 20% of the total energy consumed in Europe comes from renewable sources, and that energy efficiency is increased by 20%. However, this percentage must rise to 27% in 2030. For the transport sector, the most dependent on fossil fuels, and therefore, the most polluting. The 39% of all industrial pollution in Spain by CO2 includes a specific provision. 10% of energy aimed at this sector must come from renewable sources. Energy is part of the current debate about climate, and also the impact that gas emissions have on it from the use of fossil fuels. In 2013, Spain consumed 20.5 million tons of diesel (ZE). In the past 5 years the average was of 22,200 million tons. And in 2014 the consumption of diesel, predictably, will amount to 21.5 million tons of diesel. Therefore, we may conclude that the transport sector in Spain produces an average of 55.5 million tons of CO2 per year. The project of GEA and GEA and of the independent professionals of the road transport goods will save the state an average of 625,000 tons of CO2, the equivalent of €44 million of emission rights per year, becoming an efficient sector to the national economy, in practice all trucks in general, and the national brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Scania, and Iveco can use biodiesel in percentages that can reach 100% of its consumption needs. When asked, is it possible to produce biodiesel in Spain? The answer is yes. Our project could contribute with 250,000 tons of biodiesel a year for the national energy security, and therefore replacing the same amount of fossil diesel, and at the same time providing 375 tons of national protein for livestock feed. The cultivation of brassicas, nappies or carinata does not interfere with the area of productive land for human consumption, since that every year 8 million of hectares of farmlands are left uncultivated, fallow lands in pastures, since there are lands potentially arable, mills that can extract oil from rapeseed and biodiesel plants that are closed and without activity, located throughout the country. The project, Employment, Agriculture, Biodiesel, Transport and Climate Change, being a completely horizontal project, does not require additional investments, because synergies in each territory would be used. Therefore, the promotion of a green energy as a source of economic stimulus will be the key to create recovering strategies to exit the crisis. The direct and indirect employment creation is undeniable. It could be created 1,000 jobs for each 50,000 tons of biodiesel, of which 30% will be female employment, helping to set the population to rural areas. The independent professionals are committed to this project, besides being a personal project, developed under the same planning economy of scale. The final product cost, the biodiesel, will be below the price of a diesel, in each time the fuel in transport activity achieves a cost that varies between 32 and 38%. Therefore, producing and controlling the fuel itself is one of the main objectives of the independent professionals. Thus, transport will remain a strategic sector for the national economy, and biodiesel will participate in the national energy security. According to the National Institute of Statistics, the number of registered trucks above 3.5 tons achieved an average of 68,000 units in the last 10 years. However, in 2013, these registrations have fallen in 4,000 units. This means that the independent professional participants in our project, about 10,000, will account for 1 or 2% of all trucks that are currently in activity. In the European Union in general, and particularly in Spain, biodiesel is an agricultural, energetic, economic, social and technological strategical opportunity. Consequently, Spain must decisively support the production and the use of biodiesel, solving directly the issues already referred, and implementing the appropriate solutions to make this a more sustainable policy, being in accordance with the Directive 20/20/20. The biodiesel for transport is presented as the solution to defend energy security, to reduce external dependence and to transform this industrial sector in a viable and competitive economy. Due to the fact that energy is a scarce resource, Spain cannot afford to have 8 million hectares (year) fallow lands and pastures uncultivated. With a true national energy strategy, linked to a broad national project, taking into account our potential and the 8 million hectares that every year remain uncultivated, we could contribute with 39% of the fuel, biodiesel, required for the transport industry. Since Spain remains the most energy-dependent country in the major economies of the European Union, having a more erratic and incoherent energy policy. This project, headed both by GEA and GEA and the independent professionals of transport, takes into account the strategic priorities and concerns over energy security, which are generally articulated around 3 main axes: energy supply security, biodiesel, competitiveness and economic growth, and environmental protection. Our aim is to create a long-term, sustainable energy project, with a totally safe transport supply, relying on the potential of all territories, and with all technologies available to maximize strengths, and minimize hypothetical disadvantages. Moreover, this project will also include a significant plan of investigation, development and innovation, in which we intend to continue to inform the public in general, and the transport professionals in particular, about energy issues that affect them, in order to accept the most appropriate solutions. GEA and GEA, in collaboration with the independent professionals of the road transport, associated with CONAE, National Confederation of Autonomous and Micro-Enterprises, sustain that it is feasible to develop this project. Therefore, we will take all efforts to achieve it, reinforcing that our strategic plan is to make things come true.